Today's lesson is section 8.3, polynomials, linear factors, and zeros. So for example 1, it says, what is the factored form of f of x equals x cubed minus 2x squared minus 15x? What you have to do is find the greatest common factor, what they have in common. In this case, it will be x. So let me write this out. I have x cubed minus 2x squared minus 15x, and I notice that x they have in common, so you're left with x squared minus 2x minus 15. Now we're going to go ahead and factor x squared minus 2x minus 15 using the factor sum method. You're going to find the factors of negative 15. In this case, for the factors negative 15 is going to be negative 3 times 5. We know that negative 3 plus 5 gives you, actually that's 2. So it's going to have to be 3 times negative 5, or 3 minus 5 gives you negative 2. So we have x parentheses x plus 3 times x minus 5. And this is in factored form. So we have a polynomial. We want to find the zeros. So we're going to write down the function f of x equals x plus 2, x minus 1, x minus 3. And to find the zeros, you just have to say x plus 2 equals 0. Subtract 2. So x equals negative 2. So the first 0 is negative 2, 0. That's first 0. The next 0 is x minus 1 equals 0. You add 1 to both sides. So you have x equal 1. So the next 0 is 1 comma 0. So that's 1 comma 0. And then the last one, we have x minus 3 equals 0. Add 3 to both sides. So you have x equals 3, so you have 3 comma 0. That's the last 0. Now we just got to find the points that are in between. So you're going to go to Desmos, as I've done here. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to type in the function. You have x plus 2, x minus 1, and then you have x minus 3. I know that we have a picture of it right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to go and look at our table. And we probably want to start at negative 1. We have negative 1, 8. Negative 1, 8. You see that's kind of like the highest point there. And then we have 0, 6. That's the y-intercept. Oh, let me fix this. Negative 1, 8. 0, 6. So it kind of goes up. Then comes back down. And then we have 2, negative 4. We can do 3. 3, 0. We've already figured out the 0. The next one, we can say 4. 4, 18. So we know it's going to go something like this. Goes up, goes down, and it goes back up. So that's our graph there. I'm going to make the table right here, just so you know what we did. So our table here is negative 2, 0, negative 1, 8, 0, 6, 1, 0, 2, negative 4, and then we have 418. There was our table. The end behavior is how the graph behaves at the end of the end of the beginning. We're going from left to right, so we know that as x approaches negative infinity, the y values are going down. As x approaches positive infinity, the y values go up. Okay. Example 3, we're writing a polynomial function from its zeros. So the first step is to write x equals negative 2, x equals 2, x equals 3. That's the first step. And since we know that there's zeros, we're going to say f of x equals, and we're going to move that negative 2 to the left. So the first factor is going to be x plus 2. We're going to move that 2 to the left. So that's x minus 2. And we're going to move that 3 to the left, so that's x minus 3. Now we're going to multiply x plus 2 times x minus 2. So we have x times x, which gives you x squared. X times negative 2, which gives you negative 2x. 2 times x gives you positive 2x. And 2 times negative 2 gives you negative 4. And whatever you get here, you're still multiplying times x minus 3. Now you notice x squared minus 2x plus 2x, that's going to cancel. So you're left with x squared minus 4 times x minus 3. So now you're going to have to do FOIL again. So you have x squared times x, which gives you x to the third power. X squared times negative 3, which gives you negative 3x squared. You're going to multiply negative 4 times x, which gives you negative 4x, and then you're going to multiply negative 4 to negative 3, which gives you positive 12. So there's your function. What is a quartic polynomial function in standard form with zeros, negative 2, negative 2, 2, and 3? We're going to do what you did earlier. X equals negative 2, x equals negative 2, x equals 2, x equals 3, and then you're going to write your function f of x equals x plus 2. You're going to move the negative 2 to the left. So you're going to move the negative 2 to the left, so it's going to be x plus 2. You're going to move the 2 to the left, so it's x minus 2. And the 3 to the left, you have x minus 3. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some multiplication. So you're going to multiply x plus 2 times x plus 2. So you have x times x, which gives you x squared. X times 2 gives you 2x. 2 times x gives you 2x. 2 times 2 gives you 4. Remember, you're still multiplying x minus 2 times x minus 3. So now you have x squared plus 4x plus 4 times x minus 2 times x minus 3. So now I'm going to multiply x times x squared, which gives you x cubed. x times 4x, which gives you 4x squared. X times 4 gives you 4x. Negative 2 times x squared gives you negative 2x squared. Negative 2 times 4x gives you negative 8x. Negative 2 times 4 gives you negative 8. Remember, you're still multiplying times x minus 3. You want to combine terms. X cubed, there's no other x cubed. 4x squared minus 2x squared gives you positive 2x squared. 4x minus 8x gives you negative 4x minus 8. Then you multiply times x minus 3. So now you multiply x times x cubed, which is x to the 4th. X times 2x squared gives you 2x cubed. X times negative 4x gives you negative 4x squared. X times negative 8 gives you negative 8x. Then you multiply times negative 3. Negative 3 times x cubed gives you negative 3x cubed. Negative 3 times 2 gives you negative 6x squared. Negative 3 times negative 4 gives you positive 12x. And then negative 3 times negative 8 gives you positive 24. And then you're going to go ahead and simplify. So we have x to the 4th. And then you find your x cubed. So that's negative x cubed. And then you have a negative 10x squared. And then you have a 4x and then 24. So that's going to be the product of those four. Okay. Finding the multiplicity of a zero. What is the factored form of f of x equals 4 of x to the 4th minus 2x cubed minus 8x squared? Well, you notice they factored an x squared. So you have x squared, and then you can factor this as x plus 4 and x minus 8. So now to write it in factored form, we have x minus 0 to the 2nd power. The number 0 is a 0 of a multiplicity of 2. In other words, this repeats twice. And negative 2 and 4 are zeros, but it only comes up once, so that's a multiplicity of 1. So multiplicity just tells you how many times that factor is repeated.